Bertemu kembali dalam Niaga Awani dan sudah tentu untuk waktu ini kita nak melihat kepada isu makanan di mana kita tahu perang yang berlaku di Ukraine serta apa yang membelenggu dari segi jaringan bekalan dan juga bagaimana untuk memastikan makanan terus kekal ada di meja masing-masing. Itu antara persoalan kerana bukan sahaja di Malaysia, malah di peringkat global berhadapan dengan situasi yang sama. Jadi saya nak bersama dengan Shan Saeed, Ketua Ekonomi di Juwai IQI. Shan, thank you for being with us. Shan, war, extreme weather and also export controls are driving tens of millions of people into potentially deadly hunger. This is from the last week issue of Economist. How would you analyze the statement?
I think it's a very relevant statement. Many countries will be facing problems, especially with food shortages. I think it will get worse from here. As you know, last year the food prices went up by 37%, and this year alone we are not even halfway. The food prices have gone up by 41%. So I think things look very, very challenging, and those countries with lack of natural resources will have tough time.
Mm-hmm. Shan, you have written in your last year post on Facebook and LinkedIn on May 26 last year, I quote you just saying agriculture inflation is going to hit market globally. Price of corn is up 107% over the past year, unquote. And you have been ahead of mainstream media again. Where are you deep insight coming from? What are the key drives of higher agriculture prices pre-COVID?
I think I am grateful to my networking who are smarter than me and who give me a lot of insight. The way things are shaping up, if you analyze the market right now, there are three factors. One, the weather patterns are changing. They have been an underinvestment in agriculture for the last 25-30 years. There is a huge gap between supply and demand. And lastly, the most important thing, you won't find enough farmers globally. If I were to tell you the average age of farmer in Japan is 65, Korea is 62, US is 59, Pakistan is 55. And if you ask young people, even if I ask my young son who is 14 years old, that would you like to go into farming, he would say no, because most of the young crowd, they are into algorithms and coding and gaming, so they are not interested. So things looks very challenging. And with the way population is growing, increasing with every passing month, I think we will have tougher time, and agriculture inflation is here to stay for the next 2 to 3 years, and global economy will not recover before 2025.
Mm-hmm. Shan, World Food Programme has warned that 2022 would be a terrible year. With food crisis becoming inevitable, can we expect global economy going into recession and poverty levels going up again? What is the economic cost of food inflation in the next maybe 2 to 3 years?
I think with war dragging on, it is putting 250 million people on the brink of famine. And during COVID, 300 million people went into poverty. And if this drags on, I think 500 to 800 million people will go into poverty levels. And I'm very conservative over here. When I say this, 500 to 800 million people will go into poverty levels. And if you look at this food crisis and the economic cost attached to it, I think the economic cost, according to our estimate at Juwai IQI, we expect this cost to between $5 to $8 trillion, because all the countries are procuring, food supplies. Some countries have got natural resources; they are on the advantage. But many countries are on disadvantage because they don't have the natural resources. And if you don't have natural resources, and agriculture prices are going up. And many countries are using protectionist policies. So globalization has gone with the wind. No more globalization. We are talking about deglobalization. So with protectionist policies, I think the economic cost will go higher and higher for those countries which lack natural resources, and they will have tough time.
Shan, finally, can the global economy speed up the production in agriculture to avert this crisis. Russia and Ukraine supply 28 to 30% of global wheat, 29% of barley, 15% of maize, 75% of sunflower oil. Both countries provide supplies to many countries like Lebanon, Tunisia, Libya, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Egypt, and many more. And any solution for hunger elimination as this problem is becoming dangerous? What do you say?
I think the simple answer is no, because the weather patterns are changing and weather patterns are making huge impact on agriculture commodities. So the way the things are shaping up, many countries will face tough times. I see the way, if you recall, Arab Spring started because of food crisis. You only fight when your stomach is empty. You don't fight when your stomach is full. I foresee social unrest in many countries because of this food crisis, people suffering famine, people heading towards poverty levels. Poverty levels are going out of the roof. I think things will be very, very tough. The only way to solve this problem is through collaboration. Countries should help those, who are facing problem in food shortages, who don't have the natural resources. And, countries which have natural resources, they should collaborate more globally. And World Food Program and Food Agriculture Organization should come forward and should devise mechanism where engagement strategy with all the countries should be formulated so that the global economy can overcome this crisis. As far as recession is concerned, we expect inflationary recession to hit advanced economies, and then it will have ripple effect on many economies, and that will create a huge drag on the global economy. That's why at Juwai IQI we have been saying that global, and it will only recover in 2025.